Hare, Hare Krishna, all devotee, and all the senior Vaishnava. Thanks for giving me this opportunity to to speak about the Bhagavatam. It is very big for me, and in between of all of you, I'm very insufficient to talk about the Bhagavad Gita. But in the Guru Agnya program, when we attend in the Madurai, right? So our Guru Maharaj said. So it is not difficult. Whatever your acharya and your senior talk, just listen, and the same thing you tell to others also. So I'm just following that footstep that at least I don't have any qualification to give that much wisdom on the Bhagavad Gita. But whatever our acharya and the lecture, whatever I went through, I just capturing some of the point, and with Guru Mercy, whatever is being remembered with me, I'll tell to you. So please give me mercy so that I can give some little bit on this Bhagavatam of Canto 4 and chapters 27. And if I made a mistake, please forgive me for this. So I'll start the chapter. So this chapter is Canto 4, chapter 27. It is the attack of time, the Chandvega. The Chandvega is here is representing the time factor, right? And awakening of bhakti. Like with the time passes, how we awake, like how this time when passes, right? People will realize, okay, we spend a lot of time in our life, and now we have to little bit do some devotional service, right? So this all chapter is around the this attack of time and how. And before start, right, I will give a little bit of the background of story because Shankpani Prabhu and Rajeshwar Prabhu has beautifully explained all the character. So this is a allegory, right? So what is the beauty of this, right? In the story, every character, right, it represents some of the object that we see in our day-to-day life, right? Let's say when it start, right? So it starts with the Narada, right? Narada is narrating the story. It's instructing the king Prachin Bhari, is the father of Prachetas, right? As Shankmani Prabhu said. So when Narada Muni sees the father of Pracheta is like the Pracheta is already in the right path of devotional service, there is sure they will go to the backward, back to the Godhead, right? But his father is still uh, indulge in the all the karam kandi activity, right? So he's doing a lot of sacrifice and all those things, and that's why when Narada Muni sees that even though his children are in the right way, but his father is still engaged in this material activity, I should instruct him. So the story start from there, that Narada Muni tried to instruct or tried to guide the king Prachin Bhari with the help of a story of King Puranjana. So it is Puranjana means Puru means the city, and Anjana means who want to enjoy the city. So as I said earlier, right, here every character of the story is a object which we can take some learning out of that. Okay. And this story, right, if we narrate going forward, right, every shloka is giving some negative thing, right? So suppose the king Puranjana is a uh, like he's enjoying with his wife, and later he's spent his time. So every shloka is some of the negativity or something it is coming up, right, that we should not do as part of our this Kali Yuga, right? But Prabhupada are very beautifully take out of, like, with the help of this negative example, he turned the backside of the flip of this story. Suppose what we should not do, and apart what should not, and what we should do also, and it is very beautifully explained. So I'll start with the previous chapter, right? So what is the summary of that? So here I said, right, Puranjana, I start from the Puranjana, where the Puranjana is it is a split soul. Okay, it is considered a spirit soul, and the body, it is called nine city of the nine gate, is the body which a spirit soul will get, right? And later in this, Puranjana met with his wife Puranjani. So when the spirit soul get a body, and then it is a material intelligence refer as a Puranjani. So this is how it works, right? So we get a body, and along with the body, we get a material intelligence also. So here, Puranjan and Puranjani met with, and they just want to enjoy of this this word also. So in the previous story, right? Uh, he met with his beautiful wife Pranjana, which symbolic a material intelligence. Then he attract more on the more deep enjoyment, right? So and he went to the forest also to kill the animal also, right? So this forest and all this is represent the ground of our material senses, right? Suppose in our if we take example of the current situation, right? So even though we have given all the intelligence, everything, right, but still people finding the ground for intelligence, ground for the self or sense enjoyment, like they will waste time in the material affairs or in the watching the series or going to them that, right? So there's a lot of ground. So here the forest in this story is representing the material ground where a anyone who come in the Kali Yuga or in this story, they just want to enjoy more and more. And so here the king is conditional soul, the city of nine gate, as I said, the body, and the forest is ground for sense enjoyment, hunting. So he went to the forest, is hunting and killing lot of innocent animals, right? That is represent the violence, uncontrolled. So when we indulge more in the sense enjoyment, we'll forget like the basic thing also, and we are more indulged in the our violence or uncontrolled intelligence, where we are not have a sense like what we are doing as of now. And other the horse, weapon, and commander that the King Pranjan having, that is also represent has a sense, pride, and their polluted mind also. So this is the sense of the summary of the first chapter, right? So how this conditional soul is overcome the lower taste. So even though we have given the everything, right, and but still because of our lower taste, our consciousness got polluted. And then when our consciousness is polluted, right? So and then how we neglect the higher guidance. Suppose when like in our preaching effort also, right, we reach out in the month of book distribution, we talk to a lot of people. Some people are just don't want to listen also, but we can see, right, hey, how much their consciousness is polluted, so that even though we want to give some good knowledge, but still they are hesitate to just listen to single word also. This has happened same like this. When we are indulged in more of the sense enjoyment, our consciousness is polluted, then we cannot have the that power of strength to identify the things that is good for our life or not. And then we regret but still remain material sometime, like somehow when we are doing the wrong things, right, somehow it come to our heart or mind, right, we are doing wrong. But what instead of overcome that thing, right, what we are doing, that we pacify our thing. Okay, this has happened, it happens in the material world, and we have seen a lot of, right? So if somebody is eating the meat or anything, right, for the eating, so when we try to tell them, they said, okay, it's happened. Everybody is having the meat, so it is happen because it is a general thing. So we just pacify our mistakes ever. So it we understand, right, from the chapter, it start from attachment. So all things that is going on in this allegory or story, right, it start from the attachment. When we are too much attached to our sense enjoyment, it start, and this attachment slowly leads to the other degraded habits. So we don't have consciousness and all the four related principle that all the devotee follow, right? Even though that is a basic thing to being a human, that also people not able to follow because of this attachment or the more of the sense enjoyment. And and I in this purport, right, initially that it is given example that in this material world, right, we have seen lot of animal nearby, right? So in this lower species, right, like a fish, It is, the tongue is the highest of its, like it is a primary sense enjoyment is tongue. That's why if you see lot of fish, when somebody send a hook in this pond or the sea, right? They are more tend to eat the things, so they cannot control their senses of tongue. That's why they trap in this hook and they will lose their life, right? Similar to the moth or insect, right? They are seeing, or they're seeing to the brittle thing, that is their primary senses. They want to see the bright thing. That's why in the rainy season, right, you can see lot of these insects, right? They will attract to light and eventually they end up the life. And similar to the deer and the beetle, right? They are more on the hearing. The deer is very good, is hearing capability is the primary sense of enjoyment. So it will he will go to the wherever the good sound is come and he will trap. And similar to the elephant, right? It is the sense enjoyment is a touch, the physical touch of the right. When the female elephant touch him, he will become the mad, right? So my mean to say is, in the lower species, right? They have only one primary senses to enjoy their life, right? But as a human life, these all five senses are primary in our things, right? We have some people are more on they can control tongue, they can want to see the good around them something. Some people want to listen very melodies songs. Somebody's are more intelligent in the sensual activity, right? So in the Prabhupada says, like I heard somewhere, right, in the movie, that great powers come with the great responsibility, right? So here, when Lord given us the more power in respect of sense enjoyment, or we are given with the more intelligence, this animals and all the senses are at the primary for us, right? So if we given the more responsibility, more power, then we should be more responsible. So mean to say, suppose if you are CEO of the company, right, you have the more power, so you should not do the peon work, right? Nobody will do in nothing. But in the human life, when we are giving the more strength or more power to lead our life in the proper way, still people are doing the minimal things, right? They exploit their senses to enjoy their self, right? So in this way, it is a story like when we are giving the more power, we should utilize in a proper way. If you are being appointed as CEO, your main thing, or CEO or any like highest position, you're more focused on the top level the goals of your life, right? Similarly, in our life, when we are given with the all this power, thinking power, or we can lead our life better, so we should spend our more time in devotional service rather than to more engage in the senses enjoyment, right? So these are the summary of the previous chapter and the starting of this. I'll start with this next. So now the king Puranjana enjoy with life. So after the story drive, right, when he met with his wife, he went to the forest and he come back. When he come back, right, when he come back because he was just tired of doing the hunting and everything, right? And he come back and he's after coming home, that after seeing the bewildering husband of Puranjani, right? So Puranjani give him as a control. He just put a control and he just pacify him, and he give all the satisfaction, right? And then in the next verse is the queen Puranjani, right? He just dress herself very good and put his ornament, and seeing her, just he just welcome his king all of his potency, right? And then after the third verses, they enjoy, and king captivated by his wife beauty, and they are more indulged in senses. So here you can see, right, all the three verses you see, like after coming, they in more indulgent sense enjoyment. At the initial level, it says all are negativity, right? So why in the Shastra is giving like this, right? So why he is went to first of all he went to the forest and killing the animals, and then come back. After coming back, he is just indulging sense enjoyment. So what why is given? Because out of this he will tell what is our uh, ultimate duty of that, right? It is because of this negative example. Prabhupada take the example, four are the worst case, and then he start giving the guidance or so. This is how Shastras give it, right? With the because in Shastra Bhagavatam, if you see, the more are stories are there because at that time also people we know that people will not understand easily. Here also in this story, right? Even though the father of Parchetas, Prachin Bhari is well known and a little bit conscious, right? But still, Narad Muni didn't instruct him directly. With the help of Puranjan's story, he want to drive the lesson for him. So similarly, in this all Canto 4, right, whatever I seen, is giving the all the worst example in this one by one, but out of that what best we can take it out and how it we take as a our milestone or are the things that we should not do, and then on that what we can do. So in this chapter, right, even though King Puranjana is enjoying with his wife and all those things, right, but Prabhupada tell what is the systematic married life we should enjoy. So all the grasta, right, in this three verses, right? Prabhupada telling like what would be your standard of the Agastha life, right? So it says like what is summary in this with a systematic married life is better than sinful life. Another is balanced life with a fixed in the spiritual activity. Fourth, learning is the provide necessary things so that spiritual practice can be performed. And fourth, constructive engagement of dependent. So, and the fifth, schedule to achieve your goal. So how one by one I will take it, right? So first of all, systematic material life is as a married life is better than sinful life. So Prabhupada said, like in the Grihastha life, right? Who like some in this current situation, right? People are more tend to for the our sensual enjoyment, right? So out of marriage, they want to indulge in their sexual activity, right? So here Prabhupada said, give you the example, right? So that at least if you want to enjoy this because you cannot control and you are polluted, at least whatever you do in the a systematic married life also. You want to enjoy the sensual activity, should be married life. So how we can understand? Like I give you a simple example, right? So, as a devotee, what prasadam we get, right? So, the first highest standard is that the prasadam should be cooked by a devotee with the intention of the cooked by for the Shri Krishna or our Lord, right? And third, it has all the vegetarian food should be there, and it should be non-garlic. So, this is the standard of life, right? But when we travel or something, right, being a devotee, will see, okay, it is not cooked by devotee, but at least it should be offered. That is the second level of standard we can follow. Third standard is in the worst condition, right? If you don't find any food which is not offered and not cooked by the any devotee, but what is the minimum standard that at least it is a vegetarian food? It is without non-garlic, right? And in the last case, where you in the for the devotee, right, is the time of do or die, right? In case at least no meat, right? At least no eggs, no I think that. So this is the level of standard which we follow as a devotee, right? While eating also. So similarly, Prabhupada given an example of this eating habit to this. What is systemic life? So what is the highest standard of the life? We should marry if you want to start your Grihastha Jivan. So the intention of each other of your spouse, right? Not to enjoy one other, right? So husband should not have the intention that okay, I will marry and I will enjoy my wife like anything. Similar to other things, right? Any wife should not understand okay, I'll marry because of I want to enjoy my husband at the utmost level, right? With sensual activity or things, right? But what would be the best systematic married life? So in this marriage, when you married, right? So both should have the service attitude. In which sense? Okay, to achieve your highest goal of life, to devotional service, you grow your spiritual life. So sometime like wife is little spiritual, husband is not spiritual, and other hand wife and husband is spiritual but his wife is not spiritual. So what is duty of that? We should support each other. We should support each other so that both we can grow in the spiritual life. This is the systematic married life. uh, in my life also, right? When me and Anu married, right? So I was not so much spiritual, right? So initially I will hesitate. So with the help of my wife, I will little bit slowly, it takes some time, but at least I will grow systematically one by one, right, into the spiritual life. And this is the I'm giving example because this is a actual happen, right? Because in the temple also we see sometime only Prabhuji is coming, sometime only Mataji is coming, but eventually both will come, right? So this is the systematic married life. Our married life is not to being enjoy, right? Some this Gen Z or the current situation we see, people are seeing that marriage as a enjoyment sense object, right? So initially they will do lot of lot of things in marriage, but the marriage will not last for a month or 2 months, right? They will divorce, or after them they will live in the different way that is not as per the Shastra, right? So what is sinful activities here is a reference. Sinful activities, any activities which against the Shastras, it is a sinful activity. So Bhagavad given the four absolute principle, right? If you are not following, that is sinful activity only. So this is how it is given here. And another is balanced life with a fixed spiritual activity. So we should have a balanced life. It means if you have the married life, it is not that you should not uh, like you should not engage into your in your bodily need, right? But it is there. But as per the Shastra, only you need to be engaged in this activity to only the progeny. If you want to produce a child or Krishna consciousness, that it will help in the devotional service, that only you can be activity. So in the Shastras, everything is given, but that is restricted way. Why the restriction come? Because we know if these activities is not restricted, it can lead to or degrade our devotional services. And another thing is very good given here is provide the necessary things so that spiritual practice can be performed. So as part in the Grihastha life, uh, uh, the husband is a leader, right? As a leader, generally it is in, but these days, though, it is not viable. But here Shastra says leader means it is not leader that you only exploit your dependent. You just instruct your wife and kids and you become the Hitler, right? This is not a meaning of the leader as per the Shastra. Leader means you just provide the necessary comfort to your dependent of your wife so that they also can grow into your same level of you. But the highest goal of your married life should be to achieve your spiritual goal. Okay, and sometime is given, right? But in the Shastras given very generic, right? So it's given provide necessary thing. So some people can think why in Shastra not giving, okay, for the married life, how many ornament is required for your wife, how many saris you should be given to that, right? Why it is not giving a clear cut? Why it is there in the gray area kind of, right? So Prabhupada given a very beautiful explanation of them. So the comfort level, right, to start a this can be different for different devotees, right? For the some people, only one BHK house is more than enough, right? But because of the past history or experience, that is some other devotee is not sufficient. So different devotee or different people have the different level of luxury they should be provided so that they start. So our ultimate goal to start our spiritual journey, right? For that, initially, if you want to be looking for luxury, that the husband should give him if he will grow in the spiritual life. It is not like other way, right? Because of if you give the luxury and it become the degraded, right? So in the practicing devotee. So this is the as part of a husband, as part of your marriage life. This is your duty to give a necessary things of your dependent and this and so that they can grow along with you in the spiritual path. Another is constructing engagement of the dependent. It is not only the giving the only the necessary things, right? You need to be constructing engagement. You should take your kids and wife if they are not initially struggling. They should engage them to the all the spiritual activity, right? You should be engage them into the arti, or you should engage them to when you're going to the temple. This is the beautiful why it is given. It is the small step to engage your family member or dependent and schedule to achieve your goal, right? So in the we all are working most of in the corporate, right? So when we achieve a big project, how we do? We do a sprint wise, right? Sprint means a small portion of the work that we can do. Similarly, in the spiritual life also, if you want to achieve a goal, right? Suppose you want to highest level of your spiritual life. So can it be done by in the one go? No, right? We need to break the task and schedule, and should be very constructive and very focused on that goal to achieve. That's why in the ISKCON, right, we have a Siksha level, 1 round, 4 round, 8 round, right? Because our Acharya Shastra knows the ultimate goal is to achieve the highest level of spiritual life, but that cannot be done in this Kali Yuga. So that's why, as part of the material life, or if you are in the Grastha Jivan, you should put your goal. Okay, up to this age, I need to be these things I need to complete, and this, right. So you need to be little vigilant about your achievement of the goal, right. So this is the essence of the first three. It is more about the Grasta Jivan, how you live it, and what all things you need to do. Okay. So now the next big learning of this verses from 4 to 8, the king deviated from his good sense. So in this, when Aligro is move on, right, the king Puranjana, although advanced in his consciousness, right, and he's always with his wife. He just spend his all. He just take his wife for anything, right? So he want to spend time. He want to lay down with her, and his king is full of lust and sinful reaction, right? To enjoy his wife, and about this, his youthness, right? All the youth is expired in the half of moment. And then the king Puranjana, because of this excess enjoyment of his wife, he's produced the 1,100 sons and 1,110 daughter also, right? And and after the king Puranjana married to his, like, after they got his son's daughter, right? So now king Puranjana start looking for the marriage of his excess sons and this one, right? So so in the verse 4, right, it is what is outcome? Choose the right association. It means I'll start with the Rishabh Dev teaching, right? If one associate with the uh, Mahatma or devotee, right, his path of liberation will open, right? And if it is attached to the person who's are more in the sense enjoyment, and who are more attached to the woman, it open the door of the darkest region of hellish life. So is given in the fifth canto, fifth chapter, second. Mahat sevam dwaram ahum vimukte. Tamo dwaram yoshita sangi sangam. So it is all about the association. That's why the ISKCON, right, or in the devotee community, our Acharya focus on more on the association. Why? Because association is the main trigger or impetus to start our spiritual life, right? So because Maya is very probable, and uh, it is very strong that nobody can attach, even though we have seen some devotee who are practicing earlier, and because of the known association, right, they start moving toward the other way around, right? Even though in our life also, sometime if we don't associate with the devotees for a week, or then, and all the things start coming in our mind. Okay, I should enjoy this, I should enjoy that movie, I should go to the mall. But when you listen or hear from acharyas, or you part of the association somehow or other, the sense of goodness, right, it will always be with you, even though your mind say, okay, I should go, but because of this association effect, you will immediately take your decision back, or you will respond or react better in the life, right? And the next chapter, this next verse is, right, about the it is the sense is time and tide don't wait for anyone. So right, time is going every time, right? Like, it is going very fast, and we should not waste our time for this unnecessary sense enjoyment. I'm not saying you should not enjoy in your life and you become totally dedicated, but you should have the balance thing, right? Balance thing. You should do your family activity also. You should do your work also, but it should be balanced out, because time is running away, right? So in this right, the time of the youth of it is like 16 to 13 years is considered as per the Shastras. So, but we see that lot of people are in this age of 16 to 30. Their more tendency is to enjoy the this uh, all this sense enjoyment, right? Either from the taste, smell, or touch. These are the three things that which are very prevalent in this age. Like people are more foodie. They are more into the smell of the either the non-veg or everything, right? Because it starts with that also. And touch. So touch means the sensual activity. Because in this age, this is probable thing. So if we are not in the right association, then we cannot utilize our time properly. And then easily and eventually you will see after 30 years, if you wasted your time in your all this unnecessary thing, then you realize, oh, after 30 years, I don't do anything meaningful in my life, right? So generally in this world, right, two things happen in this material world. Generally, right? Generally means who don't know the goal of their life, right? One is how we reduce our suffering and how we enjoy more. This all the Kali Yuga, right? They are struggling between. So they want to reduce the suffering and they want to earn more or work hard more to enjoy more and more. But these two things are it that never can be achieved. So more you work, right? So the because this padam padam yad vipdam in this material world, every step is the vipdam also. But how? But in this material world, right? Everybody is want to subsidize all these two things, but that cannot be happen. What can be happen? We should focus on the permanent solution. What is the permanent solution? We need to go to back to Godhead. We need to work on to improve our spiritual practice. We should increase our devotional service. These are permanent goal. In that only we can achieve the ultimate anand, right? Or ultimate happiness we can achieve rather than you working on these things, right? Or so more dedication after spiritual life. Uh, in this, right? So in the spiritual life, we should more dedication. We should not take it for granted, right? Okay, we हम करेंगे आज नहीं तो कल करेंगे chanting करेंगे. We should be if we start, we should very dedication to the things. So after this, in these verses, right, when King Puranjana has a lot of sons and daughter, right? Now in his youthhood, he's just vested for the his progeny, right? But later after 30 or whatever certain age as per the Shastras. Now he has more task to marry his all these tons of sons and daughters, right? So he just engaged in themselves. But here, Prabhupada also find it out the right learning for us, the qualification for finding a right match. So in this word, right, in this way, people and Mataji and Prabhuji are looking for the match who's good earning and good looking. He has a background. He should not stay with his parents. He should be independent, everything, right? These are the criteria to finding a match. If you see the this matrimonial site, right? If you see, you will be shocked. People has a list of all the unnecessary things or something they list down all the things that can never be match also. So that's why in the current situation, right, more divorce, more living relationships are coming into picture. Why? Because the qualification of finding right match is that the match who can help you to achieve your spiritual goal, who can anyhow with the who can prove if he can bring you the spiritual life or in the spiritual practice, that will be first and foremost qualification of the finding match. But because of this polluted consciousness, right, people are looking for same that reducing the suffering and enjoy the more. So they are finding the match who can give me the more and more the luxury so that I can enjoy more and more on more. But this is not permanent. Everything has a time. Even though um in the Shastra also you see, right? Who get the like in the Hiranyakashipu, right? He has everything, his power, everything, he's enjoying. But what happened at the last? Lord himself ripped him apart from that also, right? So these things, even though in the past or in our Shastra as part of Natam Dharma, lot of people has lot of intelligence, lot of strength, lot of like enjoyment of object, right? They also cannot enjoy the what is our situation, right, in this Kali Yuga. And but still, because of the polluted consciousness, we cannot understand what is good for us and good not for us. Okay, so if we'll go next, the King Prinjna worship demigod, right? So here the king Purinna produced hundreds of sons and grandsons, as I told you, and all the grandson plunder the wealth, riches, and treasury. Means, Narad Muni instruct the Prachin Bari to stop animal killing. Like these are the verses, a one line right taking, and the king Purinjana is being attached to activity. So here is what the kind of action and reaction. So when King Purinjana produced the hundreds of son and grandson, right? So what happened at last? So the all this population that is because of him, right? He start taking the plundering the his wealth is. So what we can understand. So some people we can see right in the near round also. The people are more earning like anything, even though they have crores of worth of rupees, but still they are working like a ass, and day night they are collecting more and more money so that they can enjoy and their generation can enjoy, right? But what happen if you not give the proper instruction of your descendant, right? What they will do? They will plunder. They will misuse of whatever you collect for them, right? It happens. You can see in the red round, right? The kids of politician, kids of industries, right? What they will do? They will indulge in all the sense enjoyment, illicit sex, or this drugs taking, right? So here, same happened with the Puranjana, right? Puranjana is work hard too. He has a lot of wealth, and because of sense enjoyment, he want to enjoy more and more. He produce a lot of kids, and what is then in front of him, whatever is uh, like all the uh, wealth is created, right? And it will end up, right? So this happened there also in this coming days also. Like people have a lot of dozens of wives, they have dozens of kids, whatever they just become a uh, rucksack of the society, right? Nothing is coming out else. So we should as per the shastras, we should not work more to get more and more wealth, but better we should focus on the our spiritual life, how we can make it better. So lesson to the king Prachin Bhari, right? And it is mentioned as when we unnecessary population descendant, they will ruin our accumulated wealth also. That time, right? Attachment of fruited activity, right? And Narada Muni want to stop the Karma Kanda, right, of Kin Prajin Bhari. So it is here the Prachin Bhari is also doing the same Karma Kand, right? So he's also doing sacrifice one and after that to instruct him. The Narada Muni cannot tell directly to him, right? Because he don't want to offend the Prachin Bhari. That's why he just start with all the stories of Prachin Bharis, sorry, the Purandar, right? Puranjana. He want to instruct the Prachin Bari with the help of story of Puranjana, right? So now because it is a similar set of people, right, in the King Puranjana and Prachinari, they both are more into the karam kanding or the sacrifice, so that they can get more and more this one. So instead of that, the this whole story begin, right? So attachment of fruitive activity, right? So even though the King Purinjana finally arrived at the age of old age, right? But still he want to enjoy more and more senses, right? And so here it is story comes, right. The one a saintly person is traveling for his yatra, right. So he the sage travel to multiple places, right. So in the sage, when he go to the different countries or things, right. So first he will met with a prince. So a prince means which has everything. He want to have the big palace. He has a lot of people who can help to them, like house help, everything. He's more wealthy, good looking, right? So they sing the prince. He just give them, oh, my dear prince, you may live forever. And then he a little bit more ahead, he will met with a saintly person. So for the saintly person means who are little bit spiritual and is doing right. So he that you may either live or die. He just said, he just gave a boon, right? You may either live or die. And later he will move forward, right? He met with the a brahmachari who is dedicated his life full to devotional service. And then he tell him, you will die immediately. And the fourth, he will met with a hunter that you will neither live or not die. So he met with the four people, right? First is the prince. So what he said to the prince, you may if either sorry, you may live forever. So why he said, because in this material world, who is enjoying more? Who has a lot of wealth, right? So and every object of sense, right? They have is readily available. The sage, why he said that you will live forever? Because he knows, like whatever you enjoy, want to enjoy, do it here. But after that, you will sure go to the hell where you cannot get a single time for enjoyment. So whatever you want to enjoy, enjoy here also. That's why he said, my dear, you will live forever. So my wish is to live forever means how much enjoy you want to do it here. After that, you will not get a second chance for enjoyment. Second thing, saintly person. He said, you may either live or die. Why it says? Because he knows the all the devotee who serve here as a god, right? They will they will live or die. Both are same because they're more there's a main motive is to serve the Lord. Either they will stay here or either with somewhere else. But wherever they will go, there will be the main motive is to serve the God. So it doesn't matter if they live or die. They will always serve the devotees of Lord and Lord itself. And what is the brahmachari? You may die immediately. Why is said to the brahmachari to die immediately? Because being a brahmachari or a sadhu, right, is already do a lot of austerity, right? Because he will do a lot of sadhana and he do so a lot of things already suffer. So is that you already achieve your life goals, right? Better you die it and go to the back to the go ahead, right? And for the hunter, you neither live or die. Because what is hunter? Hunter means all these Kali Yuga's people, right? Who are doing every day, they are doing some of other things, right? Either they're killing people, they're cheating propensity, uh, they are looting some other people, right? Hunter means who is doing every day the wrong thing, right? So what sages tell to him, you neither live or die means ना तुम जी सकते हो ना मर सकते हो. Why said? Because when he will die, right, he will sure go to the hell, and where he will give a uh, what do you call, they will get a special body where they can get beaten, right? So where even though you are not die or not live, but you have to get suffering a lot. So what is the essence of this story is right? So we should not waste our time here, right? Like we should not like all these verses, right? It is only once they the Narad Muni want to give the value of right out of this, or Prabhupada also mentioned this. Out of all verses, only one thing: save your time and do more spiritual activity. Start from now so that you can achieve your things better, rather than you should indulge in all those things with all the story of Puranjani, there all the paraphernalia, right, which is described in the verses. All senses that this one. So here we can refer the Bhagavad Gita also, right? Bhoktaram यजनातप्साम सर्वलोक महेश्वरम सुहृदयम सर्वभूतानां ज्ञात्वा माम संचित रच्यति. Means what is there? Bhoktaram yajna tapsaram means the all the topmost enjoyer is our Lord Sri Krishna, or our Supreme Personality of Godhead. Who can enjoy? Everything belongs to Him. Sarva Loka Maheshwara. He is the Sarva Lok Maheshwara. He only hold everything, right? And Suhradam Sarva Bhutanam. He is the he is a Suhradya for all the Bhutanam, all the living entity. And who knows this? He will he will like he can enjoy he can make his life happily, because like whatever we try to enjoy as much, but we cannot enjoy it, because if the things, like suppose you are using a other people car or other house, how much you can enjoy, right, for a certain time. But similarly you want to the ultimate enjoyer of all this material activity is Lord Sri Krishna. Even though we do all our utmost effort, if we ruin our life to achieve that, but at last we cannot enjoy anything out of this. Instead of that, if you put your consciousness into the highest goal, then only you can live happily here. So this is the sense of here. Okay, next we'll go to the role of time, entry of Chandavega. So the in the Gandharva Loka, king name is Chandavega, right? And it is mentioned in the verses. It has 360 powerful soldiers. Okay. And along with the Chandvega, there's a female Gandharvi. This will be plunder all the paraphernalia of sense enjoyment. It is, I'm just describing the verses, right? Then I will come to the learning out of that. When Chandavega begin to plunder the city of Puranjana, and the five hooded snake began to defend the city. So because initially we said, right, this Puranjana is the spiritual soul, and he get the body, right, which is city of the rent. So here Chandavega, the time begin to plunder. Plunder means they want to vanish this thing, but the five-footed serpent protect the city of Puranjana and fight with the Gandharvika for hundreds years, along with a number of 72 serpents become weak. And last, the king collected the tax, right, and was able to engage in sexual enjoyment. So what it is, the time is very swiftly passing. Here the Rafa Chandvega and 360 soldier means we in the year we are getting 360 days, right? So the Chandvega Kal, every soldier is taking a 1 day away from us from every day, when, right? Every day. And those soldiers are taking away one by one from us, like I said, right? Now question comes, right? The way we can't stop the time, like it is a evident, right? We cannot stop the time. So how we can stop the time or effectively using, right? Even though we cannot stop the time, right? We can use the time very effectively. In the Srimad Bhagavatam second canto, third chapter and 70 verses is saying, आयुर्हर्ति वै पुंसम उद्यम अस्तम च यंसो तस्येत यक्षणो नीत उत्तम श्लोक कर्तव्य. It says both the rising and by setting the sun descendant, the duration of life everyone decreases except one who utilize the time discussion the topic of all good personality of Godhead. So what Bhagavatam says us, even though we cannot step time, but that is only applicable the people who don't do the spiritual activity. If anybody is engage him or herself in the spiritual or devotional services, they can stop the time. How they stop the time? Because the time effect will not on that. They will get their highest goal of life. So another experience is that material life is chewing the chew again and again. Means even though we'll do all of things right, so what we are actually doing? So this life already we have enjoyed in the previous birtha, right? But what is look like that you are chewing the chew food? Like suppose in the plate, if somebody give you the chewed food, right? Do you take it? No, right? It is common sense. It's already chewed and it's already jute and all those things, right? But in the material life, what we actually doing? We are doing the chewing the chew thing only. So these things already we have done might be many years, right? For many janma. But still, every janma we are so tempted to enjoy here, right? But actually, what is this? It is a chewed food. And the five-footed snack protacity, right? The five-footed snakes or जो serpent जो पंचमुख का जो नाक है, like here, what we it is given, it is the pran vayu that we have. So there is a five pran vayu in our body, right? It is called prana, apana, vyana, udana, and samana. These are the five different airs of life airs in our body. So here what it says, when the time hits right, or they want to plunder our city, like when time taking our life, right? So all the Pranavayu five serpent will fighting with this Chandvega soldiers, right? So it happened, right? Sometime we trying to get more, and some scientists, right? I heard that sometimes scientists are trying to make the someone immortal, right? They want to do more and more scientific what do you call? experiment they are doing so that we can live more, right? But we know, as per the Jara Mritu Jara Vadi, is the inevitable. We cannot do it, but still people are trying to achieve the impossible things, right? Even though if they stay more, right, but they achieve, they can enjoy some time more. But the Mritu is Shashwat. You need to be there. You need to die. One comes in the material world, he will die for sure. Whatever you can do, it with. So the next is serpent become weak. So after the fighting, right, it seems like every day we are fighting with, right, or either our office or our health or our or our family life, right? So every day we are fighting to save some time, but time is going quickly. So eventually become weak, right? We can see after 50 years, right? People become tired. They don't have the strength to do more things, and the body start paining. They are getting more diseases, right? So this represent the serpent. So all the pranavayu in our things, right? They start decreasing their strength. Why? Because we haven't devoted the time in the proper way. We are not getting any mercy, and this fight become weakened day by day. And tax collected, it says in the verses, last verses of the 18 verses, right? The king Puranjana take a tax, right? Tax means, and he enjoy sexual life means he whatever facilities given, he just misuse of that, similar to the our current version of our Kali Yuga, right? Where the government and the politicians are collecting tax, right? Every day they are putting more tax, more tax. But what they are doing, they are enjoying the tax value. You see the some of the corruption scam happen. Why? Because the tax amount is collected by the normal people. They are enjoying like anything. And what they happen, suddenly they will get, they have to die. Recent, we can see, right, the master's deputy CM, uh, he will fly with the more secure private jet, right? Even though he will die in the same place where he was ruling the world, right? So it is seen like whatever wrong thing you do, you sense enjoyment, but one day you have to die. Okay. And whatever the fancy thing or whatever we think can do it, but nobody can protect you. Instead of you need to be spend your time uh, to know more about the your goal, right? Uh, so in some way, right? I read somebody asked to some acharya, right? I forget the name, but what is the like? What is the ultimate goal of your life? If you one word, he said, can you give in the sentence? He give one sentence. So you should inquire, who are you? Who are the Supreme Lord? And how can you make your connection to the Supreme Lord? These three things sentence, three word sentence. It is a goal of life or the life of in this material world, right? Uh, so this is the sense. We'll go to the next one. Daughter of time, Kalkanya, not the god curse, right? So here, what the Kalkanya refer, right? The time, right? Chandvega's daughter Kalkanya. Kalkanya means the Jara, right? So here it says the daughter of Jara seeing a husband and nobody agreed to accept it, right? So now in this story, new thing come, right? So the daughter of time come to here and he's asking for like, can you help me to sing my husband? But you know, right? Jara means old age. Nobody want the old age to be accepted, right? So he didn't find it. And Jara means unfortunate, right? Because we think when Jara come or the old age come, lot of diseases, lot of problems come, right? Nobody want to accept it. Everybody see means unfortunate, right? Nobody want to become old, right? Once somebody asked Yudhishthira, right, or Yudhishthira inquired to someone, I forget that what is the biggest surprise in this world, right? So then he replied that people are seeing that people are dying here, right, out of age or disease or something, but they still think that is not for me. I need to live for 100 years, right? This they will die or they will do, but is not for me. So even though they are seeing in front of him, people are dying because of their wrong thing, and they spend the time, right? And this death is shashwat. Nobody can stop it. But after seeing multiple times also, right? And people are so polluted consciousness that they cannot accept it. That is come to me also, and they start working to achieve the highest goal. This is the biggest surprise in the world. People every day in the corona or in the youth or everything, right? We have seen people are fighting each other for the unnecessary things, and but still people think, okay, that is not for me, that for them. And we should not wait for the old age. So it is seen very systematically, right? And I'll tell you the verses, right? So Kalkanya, this Kalkanya once, and he approached to the Narad Muni, but Narad Muni is a Brahmachari Vaishnava, right? So he didn't accept. So Kalkanya give him a curse that you will not stay in the one places. But in this conversation, right, we can find it out. Even though this Kalkanya give the curse to Narad Muni to not to stay in this, but how Narad Muni take this curse to help more and more devotee. As you can see, right, in all the stories in Shastras, Narad Muni keep roaming around the world. Why is keep roaming around the world? So that he can help more and more soul to back to the Godhead. He can help as much as possible. So how it took the curse just to help the this material world, whatever soul, to help them to back to that world. We can see a lot of stories, right? Nalkuvera, Manigreva, while traveling only, he find these people are enjoying like anything, and he stuck and he cursed them, and ultimately he helped them to go to the backward, right? And on the other hand, when Kalkanya cursed the Nath Muni, right? Nath Muni not being angry, right? But still he helped the Kalkanya to, okay, you go to the Yamuna, approach the king of Yamuna, Bhaya, you can go there. And Kalkanya, and he went to there. So it means even though Nath Muni got cursed, but he utilized the curse to help the other people to achieve their highest goal. And on the other hand, he helped the Kalkanya to go further. What is looking for that I cannot be accept you, but you go to their people, you can help it. So this is the quality of devotee, right? Even though in the painful situation or in the worst situation also, right? Devotee will always try to help others and take every opportunity to make it more and more grow, or more to more become humble in their material, in the spiritual life or in their devotional services. So it says the Kalkanya and Prajavara, right? So Kalkanya, the Bhaya, the approaches king of Yavana, means Bhaya. So at the end of the life, right? So what we approach is like after the old age, when every senses become weakened, right? So everybody got the Bhaya. So this is the, like I told you, right? Every characters of this story become a object of our life, right? So when in the old age, when we see, okay, we have wasted our time, we didn't do anything, then we start scaring ourselves, right? What will happen? What will happen? So same the Yamuna will present it, and the Prajura, right? Prajura is it is a higher, like a very intense fever. So it says when the people on the deathbed, right, he will get a very strong fever, and that will cause him die. That after that somebody has to leave the body. So these are the things, right? So the Kalkanya and Prajura both are combined to make the last stage, right? So why it's Prajura and Kalkanya also a energy of Lord Vishnu of Sri Krishna to tell people to give Bhaya, so that they can in next life they can, or in the whatever time left, they can start the our spiritual journey, right? It is a just impetus that people can understand. So with this help of all the story, what is the outcome of this? That how we should not wait for the old age and everything, right? We should do our things a timely manner. So what is the final takeaway? Like excessive attachment block the self realization. So we should being a human being, it is a attachment will be there, but there should be no excess attachment. That is a become a roadblock of our self relation. What is self relation? Who are we? Who is the supreme Lord, and what is our connection with them? If that relation you cannot make it and something is blocked, that attachment you to leave. Use grast life for bhakti. I already tell, right. Uh, it is not bad that you want to be grasta, but if you grasta should not be to the self enjoyment, right? We should not focus on the, we should focus on not on the self enjoyment or exploit each other. Instead of that, we should have the service attitude of each other of spouses, right? So that both can grow in their spiritual life. And third is avoid deep material attachment. The deep attachment means, uh, even though if you in the Grasta life you do it, right, but the attachment should not be that it will become you are bound to that attachment also, right? Like in Puranjara, right, we can see even though he has 100,000 or tons of sons, and then he will now we attachment to their marriage and their grandson marriage and all those things, right? He will spend his life. So that's why in our Sanatana Dharma the Varna ashram, like Varna ashram will be there, right? Not Varna ashram, sorry. That deep attachment will be cause of your stopping into the spiritual journey, right? So that's why there is a sannyas ashram, there is a vanprastha ashram. Why? Because at a certain point of time you need to leave the your attachment so that you can give more and more time. So because part of the family in the family affair you cannot do because you only spare some 5 or 6 hours, right? After giving all the completing your duty, but in the vanprastha and sannyasa you should be give your all time to the in the spiritual progress only. Start bhakti early, not in old age. That is a one very good example. People are saying like these things are in the old age. So, and this is the at the last, right, when I'm going to die I will take this bhakti, right? But once Prabhupada said, right, is some devotee, do you know when you're going to die? He said, no, I don't know when I die. So it says if you don't know when you're going to die, then how can you assure yourself that in the old age you will be there or not, right? So you need to start early as soon as possible. Remember, death is certain. Though death is certain, as you we see a lot of example, right? Even though you have all the power, all the wealth, all the everything, but everything should be certainly will be plundered in the one day, and you need to be dead. So, uh, how you make your death to the peaceful if you are in the spiritual devotee, a spiritual journey, right? And we have seen in the lot of story or lot of realization, right? Devotee when they die, they are happily they can see their acharya, they can see okay, they are going to the different planets, something, right? Why they are happy? Because the throughout the year they do the devotional service that gives them strength to face the death. But in the other hand, the material people will cry and they will cry out of their voice to at the deathbed, right? This is the certain difference. And become fearless through the bhakti. As I tried, I got the example also. This time and fear, you cannot stop it. But if you are indulge your most of time in the spiritual journey and you want to try to achieve your highest goal, you become the fearless and you can achieve your highest life of your goal. So that's all. Thank you, Hare Krishna. That's all from my side. And if I beg forgiveness if I make any mistake or I present in a different way. That's all. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you so much. I think it was a wonderful session. I know it is not